So yeah, even though both these players have terrific records, they're both definitely going to be wanting a win here. And I'm sure Alex definitely wants it. Adrian, I'm sure, wants it no less as well. So that means we're going to have a very, very high-stake game.
And Alex Dow, a humble man sometimes, when he talks about his deck choices. We caught up with him earlier and he said, oh, I'm learning the deck on the go. He loves to do this whole, like, I picked up a deck on the day, but he's such a strong player that he can learn and adapt. And as the tournament goes on, he's going to get more and more familiar with that, as he doesn't get a chance to play as much as he used to now that he has a family to look after, but is such an adaptable player and can quickly rise to the top despite only picking up the deck on the day.
Yeah, so a testament to how long you've been around the game and your skill level. If you can just pick up a deck and instantly start doing well. Let's consult these prize cards there. Alex has prize 1 Volt, Monkey Toy, Bravery Charm, 1 Dark. Not the worst ones. For Adrian, the 1 copy of Dark Energy, Gimme Ghoul, Cypher, Maniac, Code Break. How many Gimme Ghouls did he play? Just play 4 copies of 4. Was that 6 mulligans? Is that, wait, is that why it's such a long start? Win and in action, here we go. 1. Oh no, maybe not 6 mulligans. I got a bit excited there, but here we are. Swiss, a round 7 feature match is starting with Alex Dow over on the right. Going to start the turn off here with the Earth and Vessel to discard any card from your hand and draw 2 basic energy. So while Alex is going to do this first deck search here, let's have a quick rundown, Mike, of this Gardevoir EX archetype. It's pretty simple one, to be honest. You've got 2 mini games. First of all, get basic psychic energy in the discard pile because your Gardevoir EX can just accelerate them straight back, putting 2 damage counters on one of your psychic Pokemon whenever you attach a psychic energy from the discard pile to it via Gardevoir's ability Psychic Embrace. Now, those 2 damage counters can sound a little bit troubling, right? However, you have multiple ways to maneuver them back off. Monkey Dory, as we've seen many times this stream with their Adrenaline Brain, letting you move 3 off one of your Pokemon to your opponent's active, or any Pokemon I should say. But however, we make really good use of our Pokemon being damaged by Drifloon and Screamtail, both doing more damage depending on how many damage counters you have on yourself.
Well, there we go. Quick tour through Gardevoir. That Psychic Embrace, such a powerful ability. Any ability that allows you to put more than 1 energy in play per turn is a great way to push yourself forward, especially those high attack costs, and in this case, attacks that are multiplied by the number of energy or damage on your Pokemon. And you can see 1 Ralts, a Budu, and an Arton going down to potentially find another one or a Monkey Dory as that Dark Energy was taken. Perhaps knowing what the matchup is, you know, a lot of these players will be seeing each other's decks in the hall, so they'll know what they're up against. So Alex, knowing that his Ralts is safe for this turn, Adrian will need to evolve through various iterations of his evolving Pokemon.
Yeah, we do see the Monkey Dory, and we see it over for Adrian, also the Monkey Dory inactive, one of the best cards in the standard format right now. Being able to get that early darkness energy on it means Adrenaline Brain will be live for the rest of the game. And we are going to see the pass over to Adrian, who is going to kick us off there with the Buddy Poffin, Mike.
Great top deck.
Yeah, top deck as well.
Yeah, you always want to be seeing that card in that first turn, and typically you look at the hand without it and think, what am I going to do here?
Yep.
But if it comes up the top deck, you'll be confident you can set up nice and wide with so many 70 HP Pokemon in Adrian's deck. You want to see early on the Gimme Ghouls and the Dreepies, which there's 4 of the Gimmies and 2 of the Dreepies, so we'll be able to access most of them this turn.
Yeah, fantastic start. Let's have a quick rundown of Adrian's deck as well. It's sort of 2 archetypes slammed together. Let's start off with the Gholdengo EX, the sort of main build around Make It Rain, doing 50 damage for each basic energy you discard from your hand when you use the attack. So that's an endless damage output. Now, Adrian's been a bit sneaky. He's also put in a 2/2 Dragapult EX line, Phantom Dive, 200 damage to the active, and 6 damage counter spread. So I quite like this deck. It's basically saying, if you've got stuff on the bench, I'll use Dragapult. If you've got big stuff in the active, I'm using Gholdengo, and they both complement each other, Mike, very well.
Yeah, and they have differing matchups which they benefit from.
Yep.
So if you put them in the same deck, you can lean into the one which you prefer, and just so much draw potential, Recon Directive of Dragapult, and the coin bonus of Gholdengo. You can see so much of your deck every turn. It really helps with that consistency. We've seen Enzorok doing well off the back of that trade ability, and having attackers in your deck that have inbuilt draw support is such a key feature in the current format.
It really is. We do see the Dark Energy getting attached to the active Monkey Dory, and we're going to see the after. So there we do see Dreepy and double Gimme Ghoul. And it's worth noting, as you say, Mike, with all these stage 1 drawing cards, you know, by a coin bonus, we actually just draw a card off, it's an active draw 2. Recon Directive lets you look at top 2, put one you hand one to the bottom. Adrian will be able to start filtering through his deck a massive amount on the next turn, provided you get the stage 1s into play. And it'll be interesting to see how the game pans out. But I believe after that Arson for the Gimme Ghoul, we are going to see a pass, and it is over to Alex.
Typically wanting to use TM Evolution on that first turn, but unable to find it with that starting hand, Adrian will have to manually evolve next turn or search the TM Evo again. So this is where Alex now will look to item lock through the Budu and set up the Gardevoir behind to try and start the powerful combination of Psychic Embrace with a slew of powerful Psychic type attackers.
Yeah, Psychic Embrace, that is the aim of the game. When I get that online, as well as getting as many Psychic Energy in the discard pile as well. Probably not going to be too hard though. The Gardevoir EX deck is built to do that. Off to a terrific start already, as we do see another Arton come down from another Volts as well.
The research in hand is going to see so many more cards. This is why Gardevoir's had to adapt. Previously, having that refinement Curlier, was able to draw through the evolving of the Ralts into the Curlier, but now has to use supporters more so. Professor's Research and Iono in the highest counts we've seen them ever in Gardevoir, of typically 4 Research and 4 Iono, so much so that we often see cards like Morty's Conviction even making their way into the list. Alex opting not to go for those, but it is showing you how important supporter draw is for Gardevoir.
As we do see an Ultra Ball to evolve a Curlier, Bravery Charm attached to the Budu, and then we're going to see the Professor's Research, Empty Hand Research, 7 new cards. What can Alex draw into? It looks more engine discard pile, Earth and Vessel, great start, and a Nest Ball, so quite a few options there, Mike. And worth noting, we do see that Lily's Clefairy, that's going to be a very interesting X factor, since that Lily's Clefairy will give the Dragon Pokemon on your opponent's side of the board a weakness to Psychic, which is terrifying.
Professor Tyrio's scenario being discarded is interesting. It can be a great resource into Dragapult, but maybe recognising that the Gholdengo is the preferred line of attack for Adrian, knowing that Dragapult is in range of that Lily's Clefairy, maybe in combination with a Mew EX, which would be so devastating, which there isn't one in Alex's list, but it's these kinds of cards that you have to start thinking about when you're leaning into Dragapult. So rather than going for Professor Tyrio's scenario, in this occasion, it looks like Alex is opting more for the Monkey Dory route to remove damage from play.
I was about to say, it's going to be able to get the second Dark Energy. Double Monkey Dory established by turn 2 means that Gardevoir will be able to start manipulating this damage a lot. We do see the itchy pollen. The pollen count is getting a bit high in the venue. Mike, before we get into histamines, as it is over to Adrian. We'll start to turn off there, evolving into Gholdengo EX. That means coin bonus is life and draw card. What else has Adrian got, though?
The Energy Search Pro, the A-spec of choice for Gholdengo, will allow Adrian to take a swing here. You do not want to be swinging. Oh, you won't want to be swinging into the Budu anyway. That's when you've got big Pokemon in play, you're not taking out. And so on this occasion, we'll be relying on that draw to dig through the deck. And so many item cards in this Gholdengo list, that itchy pollen is devastating.
Wait a minute. Is Stadium the only playable card in that hand apart from the Pheasantipity?
I think so.
I think it is. That's a hand of 5 items and a Pheasantipity. It's just going to be a pass over to Alex. The Budu has done exactly what it needs to do, and that is buy a turn. It's over to Alex now. What can he manufacture?
Gardevoir top deck. We'll be able to Psychic Embrace online here. And you might look at those Monkey Dory and think, hang on, how are they going to get the damage in play if there's no attack coming in from Adrian? But the advantage of that Psychic Embrace is you put your own damage in play, so you can start moving that around, and there's some great targets on Adrian's side for those Monkey Dories, as that itchy pollen could very well have switched the game in Alex's favour.
It really could have. Sometimes all you need from the Budu is just one turn. It's caught Adrian a bit lacking, as it were, with so many unplayable items, I should say, not able to do anything. As we do see the Artisan concluding, going to grab that Screamtail. Now, worth noting that Screamtail, Roaring Scream, 20 damage for each damage counter on itself. That can go to any one of your opponent's Pokemon. It doesn't just have to hit the active. So, provided there's enough energy in discard pile, which there is, we could start seeing some Roaring Scream accessing Adrian's bench for KOs, or could opt to itchy pollen again. We do see now, though, Gardevoir EX hit the board. Mike, Psychic Embrace is online.
Well, Adrian's going to have to come up with some clever ways to win this game because this board state from Alex is looking so strong. Everything there in favour of optimal play. Both the Monkey Dory setup, you have the Gardevoir online, you have the backup routes ready to go, and you've got an attacker ready to take some knockouts. All the while, Adrian is far away from ever getting that first knockout. And you know, the moment Alex takes a swing here, it would open up the items for Adrian, so he would start being able to do things, but scary time for him.
I like this though. You've done what it needs to do. By turn, you can retreat. I know as well going to reset the hand. And that's interesting. We know that Alex can think, well, that hand might be a lot of items. If I give up the item lock, well, he might be able to explode back in my face. How about let me put those cards to the bottom, give you 6 new ones. You get yourself 6 new ones as well for the roaring screen. Might going to access that bench. What do you think the target's going to be for that?
Well, it's a tough one, isn't it? You know, the Dreepy could be a target if you're worried about the Dragapult, and in that way you take away that line. If you take out the Gholdengo, there is a Gholdengo ready to go, so that would be an option to take away. But Monkey Dory can be pretty scary at times.
True.
But likely that Dreepy, and that's the beauty of these powerful top decks like Gardevoir. There's so many different routes you can take. So the foresight of these top players able to navigate it is making a massive difference in their success rate.
We do see Ultra Ball going to conclude for the Gardevoir. I think there's a rare candy in hand. Double Gardevoir EX in play. Not too much of a benefit there, as we are going to see the roaring screen that's going to KO the bench. Gimme goals as it can access the bench. Alex takes our first prize card here in our Swiss round 7 feature match here at the Utrecht Special Championship. Remember, this is some winning action here, folks. Both players need to win to get into day 2. It's over to Adrian. No, Mike's going to start us off with a coin bonus draw 2. And
I guess the beauty of knowing your opponent's decks, Alex highlighting that Gholdengo can be evolved and put into play and start drawing, but Dragapult would take a few turns to get going. The Dragapult would have to come down, so the Dreepy is not an imminent threat. Was Gimme Ghoul. If you get rid of that now, that's taking away options very quickly for Adrian. He actually had a Gholdengo in hand ready to evolve.
That's sad. There you go, successfully. Wow, Vengeful Poach. That's not a card we see all the time. That's a tool card. When it's attached to the Pokemon, when it's attached to Pokemon, it takes damage, I should say. Take 4 damage counters back.
Interesting card for the matchup, but one that can be played around, especially with things like Monkey Dory.
Yes.
You know, all of these on-attack effect tools are frequently played around by strong players who are able to acknowledge that, almost knock them out, move damage onto them, finish in that way.
Yeah, because for the Vengeful Punch to activate, it would need to be KO'd via damage. If you can take any KOs via special conditions or Monkey Dory, Vengeful Punch want to activate. Now, we do see a Buddy pop in that's going to grab another Dragapult. Now, this is where this Gholdengo Dragapult deck is interesting, because you sort of start, promoting multiple threats at the same time. However, the Dragapult threat for Gardevoir, not too hard to deal with thanks to that Fairy Zone. Oh, we do see the Ace Nullifier Genesect come down with the tool card. Now, that means Alex cannot play an Ace spec. His Ace spec of choice is Secret Box. We haven't seen it being played yet, but while that Genesect has a tool card on it, Mike, there will be no Ace spec for Alex.
Yeah, the Genesect is a great inclusion recently. We saw it before with the Claw Terrapagos decks, and it did so well there. And now any deck that feels like it has an extra bench space to play with and a lot of tool cards available will frequently be playing that Ace Nullifier Genesect. It's so good at shutting down the powerful turns of so many decks in the format. Secret Box, one of the least affected Ace specs on Alex's side, but a very strong consistency card that has now been taken away.
As we do see Adrian end the turn there with the TM Evolution, going to evolve into Draclo and a benched Gholdengo EX and pass it over. It's over to Alex now. Let's see what he can do. Going to start the turn with the top deck Professor Research off the top now. Does have quite a few supporters in hand, so may opt to not use that. But worth it, Adrian has a ridiculous amount of draw power now. Got 2 uses of coin bonus and a recon directive. Alex might want to start maybe trying to chip away at that.
Yeah, has the Iono and 2 Research. Might opt to play the Iono, even though he sees less cards and refreshes Adrian's hand. It would mean that he'd keep those Professor Researches for later. Actually does go for the Research now, removing 2 supporters from his deck. I guess just looking to try and dig as deep as possible to set up this powerful board that's already close to perfection.
Maybe doesn't want to give Adrian any extra cards. Okay, the hand is interesting. A few nice stretch, Liliska Fairy, Drifloon. How many energy in discard power right now? Is it 0? Is it might be 0,
There's 2 in play from that first Screen Tail acceleration.
Yeah, so we might be stuck with a Roaring Scream here. 80 damage, not bad. We really want to try and get that 90 though, so you can get rid of that Dracloak on the bench. But yeah, there's definitely no energy. And I did say at the start of the game, didn't I, Mike? The mini game for Gardevoir is to get extra energy in the discard pile. So it looks like we might be seeing a retreat. We have to discard energy for that, which you can obviously attach via again. Remember, we do have Monkey Dories online, so we can move this for damage up if we like. Bit counterproductive though. Psychic Embrace, Mike. Onto Gardevoir. Level 2.
Could set up some knockouts here. You know, the Gholdengo is out of range of the Gardevoir's attack that does 190. So if you put that pre-built damage on there, you can start to swing with your highest HP Pokemon in Gardevoir EX. And it also means you're getting energy in play and healing the Pokemon at the same time. So where the downside of Psychic Embrace, putting 20 damage in play, can be negated by that retreat and movement of damage counters. And now you can see the thought from Alex trying to work out whether it's smart to remove that damage. And
we are. So we're going to see damage off the Scream Tail as well. Onto active. There we go. Not something you see terribly often with Scream Tail, because it loves having damage on it. We are going to see Itchy Pollen, I believe. Let's double check. Is he resistant to grass?
It is.
Gholdengo does resist grass, so we'll have to get that 10 damage taken off the active. We'll try and get down to the table judge.
I think it's already been done.
Already been done. There we go. Very good. Here, coin bonus. Join 2. Remember, no items. That's not allowed. A bit naughty that. So we can't be playing that Itchy Pollen. Another coin bonus.
There's an energy.
Recon directive.
Needs another energy for the knockout here. Oh, just that buddy pop in.
Oh,
early game great card, but you don't want to be seeing it later on. Often the worst choice on those battles. There's actually 2 energy in hand, has the boss's orders as well, so could try and target something down the bench, but without using that energy search pro, which is not possible with the item lock from Budu, you're going to be stuck with just the 2 energy for the knockout, so may just take out this Budu.
It's not bad. It's not the worst play in the world. You'd rather hit something a bit more impactful. But now Adrian is on the board, taking his first prize card in our Swiss round 7 feature match here at the Utrecht special event. If you're just joining us, both players would love to win this game to secure themselves a spot in day 2. Alex currently his turn has to promote both players on 5 prize cards remaining. And it's interesting now, without the Budu, Adrian will be able to go off to the races next turn if we don't see an Itchy Pollen. Over to Alex. Here we go, Mike.
It feels like Alex has timed his Ionos every time Energy Search Pros come online.
Yeah, really
a way to disrupt that hand. On this occasion, doesn't know there's an Iono in hand, but does top deck that energy, so he can discard that, and now has 3 Psychic Energy to play with the one in on the Screen Tail, the one in the Gardevoir, and the one in hand. So we'll now be able to start attacking with the Gardevoir if that's the choice.
Here we are going to see the Ultra Ball going to conclude, as we do see that base energy getting discarded, Mike. And then the Drifloon. Here we go. Let's make a insight now what Alex is going to be trying lining up here.
Not many cards left in that deck.
There's really not, is there? I mean, there is a Pheasantipity, which you can use. Flip the script, obviously live. One of the best cards in the game, might have Pheasantipity. That flip the script ability, then you activate it. Only if one of your Pokemon's not touched on your opponent's last turn. If it was, though, get to draw 3 cards.
And seen in pretty much every deck in the format now. Even those decks that are trying to be one prize focused, they have that Pheasantipity as a backup plan towards the end. Gives you so much protection around the disruption that's running rampant for Iono and so many of the best decks in format, like this Gardevoir from Alex, or the Dragapult that we see do so well at all the different tournaments. It's going to be a retreat.
Ooh, we're going to see a Full Moon Rondo. I think so. Full Moon Rondo. 20 plus, is it 40 for each bench Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's? 20 plus 20, I should say.
So that's 220 with both players filling up their benches.
Okay. With the Monkey Dory. We can get there, right? So you've got 230 hit points left, the active, so we can move a little bit extra on there. And then Alex has manoeuvred this full Moon Rondo to be a big KO here from the Lily's Clefairy. Even has another Adrenabrain to use. And this is where double Monkey Dory Mark is just so strong.
I wonder if that 30 moved across onto the active will come back to bite in the future. Only needs to move 10 across for the knockout here, but opting to move the one elsewhere. And so could put more damage on the board elsewhere, but will be the knockout.
There we go. Big full Moon Rondo, big 2 prize KO there from Lily's Clefairy. And remember, while that Lily's Clefairy is in play, Dragon Pokemon have a weakness to Psychic. Might not be relevant now, but if Adrian wants to build towards that Dragapult EX, that is something I have to keep an eye on here.
Speaking of weakness, Lily's Clefairy weak to metals. The Gholdengo will save a little bit of energy requirement in the attack, as there's 1 to attach, has the fighting energy to discard from the attack too. But by going ahead, Alex is setting the tempo, asking the questions of what Adrian is able to do, and with the Monkey Dory able to push damage across to those Dreepies and the Dragapults on the other side, I think Adrian's going to be worried about leaving that Dreepy there with 60 HP remaining. He's going to have to try and evolve it this turn, if that's possible.
As we do see the Artisan activation here, Mike. Let's see. At the very least, gets to shuffle the deck after Ionos. Is there any target there? Actually, doesn't look like it. So we're going to see a shuffle up. But yeah, as you do say, since Lily's Clefairy is weak to metal, that Gholdengo will have no problem sending Lily's Clefairy straight to the discard pile. And it'll actually even us up here. So it's been a very interesting game. Both players trading blows exactly, the same way. Who's going to be the first one to falter? I'm not 100% sure, but I have to favour Alex right now. Double Monkey Dory, double Gardevoir EX setup. Won't be hard to reload.
Yeah, there's going to be some tougher decisions for Adrian on how to get ahead. Because at the moment, it's working from behind. You're 1 knockout behind. Alex taking a 1 prizer followed by a 2 prizer. Adrian has only taken that 1 prizer, but it's much more possible for Alex in his current board state to be able to take multiple prizes with double Monkey Dory.
Ooh.
Dragapult a little bit harder to set up from his current position, as there is only 1 energy in play, and that's on the Gholdengo.
As we do see, Mike, the Energy Search Pro getting played, letting you search your deck for any amount of different basic energy, put it straight into your hand. And that's really good to Make It Rain. Make It Rain does 50 for each basic energy you discard from your hand. So you can see this energy, get them all to the hand via Energy Search Pro, get them all to the discard pile via Make It Rain while taking a 2 prize KO ideally. And then you get back for discard pile via Superior Energy Retrieval. So there's a little loop there for Adrian. Needs to get a lot of energy in the discard pile. Has done it now via Make It Rain. So there is a little bit of a loop, as it were.
I like the way Alex has used that Lily's Clefairy for the knockout, sort of accepting that the extra 30 damage from the attack saves a little bit of Monkey Dory movement and allows you to use that elsewhere, setting up future attacks. A bit of foresight from Alex, very well played. But on Adrian's side, really having to think about the way to get ahead. What is the Dragapult's potential? Is this knockout on the active going to be the start of the final few turns? As Lily's Clefairy only requiring 2 energy due to that weakness, and will be both players on 3 prize cards remaining.
I think it's worth noting, as you do say, how much does Adrian value Dragapult right now? Was actually a target off Recon Directive, but chose to stand to the bottom, so maybe he's not valuing it right now. As we do see over to Alex, Night Stretcher, going to get back that Lily's Clefairy. Will it hit the board yet? Unsure. We're going to see a Psychic Embrace of the active, 20 damage. Remember, Monkey Dory can move that straight off. Lily's Clefairy hits the board again. And I think it's going to be a little bit of a rinse and repeat, because that 2 damage from the Monkey Dory going to go straight back onto the Gholdengo. Stop me if you've heard this before, Mike, but then full Moon Rondo, that's going to be enough for a crisp, a clean knockout.
Exactly. Repeat. If you're ahead, repeat. Keep going until you're done.
That's it. It hasn't done it too far wrong so far, has it? So how about you do it again?
Exactly. So the first Adrenabrain moving 30 damage off of the Lily's Clefairy on to the active. Again, we'll be doing 220 damage with that full Moon Rondo, and now we'll be looking to move some damage elsewhere. Again, a little bit of inefficiency with the damage movement there. Only needs to move 20 across onto that active Gholdengo, as now having to embrace another energy into play to move 30 elsewhere. So that going onto the Gimme Ghoul over there. So now 2 targets on the bench that are within range of that Psychic Embrace damage moved through the Monkey Dory.
And it looks like we are going to see an Iono to boot here as well. That's going to reset both players' hands down to 3. But Alex will be taking the 2 prize KO, so we'll take 2 prize cards. So at the very minimum, or maximum, I should say, we'll end the turn after the attack with 5 cards in hand. And for Adrian, this Iono could be devastating. When he's able to draw out of this, has got to do a little bit of work, evolve up and get some basic energy in the hand to make it rain, take a response KO. And Alex even has an Earthen Vessel, so can thin the hand of more Psychic energy and then get them from the deck as well.
Yeah, great position for Alex. Really tough now for Adrian to get a response knockout. It would be that Gholdengo, but with that 3 damage counters that Alex moved across, anticipating that could be the main target, a Gholdengo needs to take a knockout and survive in the active spot, which would be even tougher now that the damage was moved there. And the knockout will come through. Full Moon Rondo for 220 damage, and Adrian on the back foot. 1 prize card remaining for Alex. Adrian still needs 3.
Uh-oh, that hand mark is not very... Oh, actually, Superior Energy Retrieval, Ultra Ball. We can get to a Gholdengo, very easy, and a big KO there. We do see the Recon Directive going to take the Iono. Then the problem is, if you just swing for Gholdengo again, thanks to that prior 3 damage already, it's not hard for Alex just to recycle another easy KO by Full Moon Rondo. What can Adrian do? He's going to have to hope that this Iono will stick.
It could end up being one of those game on board situations for Alex.
It really could.
Even Iono down to 1 would be not enough disruption to take away all the options Alex has on board. Those 2 Monkey Dory with the Dark Energy attached pose such a disruptive board, as they're able to move up to 60 damage across. And so with the Gardevoir able to power itself up, hit for 190, you're hitting as high as 250, which is what you see on the board right now.
Yeah, great point. And you even have to scream so if you want to get cheeky and start accessing the bench for that last prize card. Quite honestly, Alex has a multitude, a plethora, an absolute bevy of options to close this game out, and it is over to Adrian to try and stop it. But that's the scary thing about Gardevoir. Oh, okay, well, the Jamming Tower reduces the effectiveness of Scream Tower a little bit, as we do see Iono when you give Alex a 1 card hand. But as you say, this is the scary thing about Gardevoir, is it gets to the point where it can just play off what's in play. Gardevoir attaches energy, you've got your attackers there already, can get a little bit out of hand.
So a little bit of draw still left to go. And that could be a coin bonus for 2 in the active. That's some energy, but really needs to try and get... There we go, the Superior Energy Retrieval will do it. Needs to try and get a Metal Energy plus 2 to take the knockout, and then ask the question of Alex, can you get the return knockout? And it looks likely with this board.
Yeah, it's not looking like it would be terribly hard. The double Monkey Dory, as you can say, can just undo that Psychic Embrace damage and sort of give that Miracle Force from Gardevoir EX extra reach that it really has no right to be hitting. We do see Superior Energy Retrieval though. Going to get back 4 different basic energy from discard pile, all different colours thanks to that Energy Search Pro. Love to see it. We're going to see the big Make It Rain thanks to weakness. Only needs to discard 2, Mike. Not the greatest amount. Easy to do.
Yeah, and that will be a knockout. 1 prize card remaining for both players. And Alex will have to try and find a final knockout. Does need to attach the energy.
Oh, yeah. Well, how is this going to work then? We'll have to... Yeah, because they can't actually enter the attack phase there. So there we do. We are going to see the turn attach. Oh, we're going to see the turn attach. This might be a job for the table judges here. Not 100% sure how it pans out. Yeah, it's a very easy attack to do if you can attach energy. It only needs 2 basic energy to take the KO thanks to weakness. But just gonna have a discussion about how that's actually going to resolve itself. I think Alex might just be saying, well, no matter what, I have Scream Tail on board, and that can actually take the KO anyway. As you do say, Alex would have been on board, and it looks like we might be seeing a concession here, perhaps on the basis that Scream Tail does get the win. I believe that is what we're looking at here, as both players are going to pick up the deck. So Alex now will be able to take our Swiss round 7 feature match, game 1. Only 1 game away from securing himself an auto place in day 2, and doing it, I would say, Mike, in quite convincing fashion. Was always 1 step ahead, and Gardevoir's one of the most terrifying decks if you're 1 step ahead, because normally it's the combat deck.
It is, and it's got quicker recently. It's able to try and set up faster, and we saw there all it took was 1 turn of Badu item lock with the Pollen to try and set up a little bit more. Once the Gardevoir was in play, the game went very heavily in Alex's favour.
Yeah, I think, as you say, Gardevoir that comes back from behind almost when you play the Ichipon to try and slow your opponent down. However, if you can put yourself in the driver's seat thanks to damage manipulation from Monkey Dory, it's one of the scariest decks to try and come back against, because, as you say, it plays from the board once the energy's there in the discard pile. It doesn't really matter. Miracle Force and Gardevoir, they have a weak attack, only gets 190. Doesn't matter if you can start flinging loads of damage via Monkey Dory, and then the 4-in-1 doing exactly what it needs to do, Mike.
It almost felt like a Dragapult plus, having an attacker do around 200 damage into the active, then you had 60 damage to put anywhere, including the active, using those Monkey Dory to move them about. So it was just following the game plan to perfection, knocking out the active, setting up future active knockouts on those gimmies, putting the damage there in preparation, so it was in range once the next attacker came up.
Yeah, and that was everything. That's all she wrote there for game 1. Alex doing exactly what he needs to do. Maybe it's a bit unfortunate for Adrian there. When that Pollen came down on the turn 2, he really didn't have a lot to do. I think it was just a coin bonus, I believe, and then a pass over. However, still got enough time for Adrian to try and win back a game 2 and game 3. Gholdengo, if left to his own devices, will be able to win games very fast. We do see a mulligan there. That's what we want to do, try and win a game fast. But Adrian, going to try and win game 2, game 3. Definitely possible.
Yeah, and we can't deny how strong the start was there for Alex. Played it very well, but also saw everything he needed in all the turns, having those researches every turn to push further through the deck and see all the different resources comfortably evolving. Obviously, had a lot of fun here on this side of the stream as opposed to here on the mic. A great player, historical regional champion back in 2017, winning back-to-back regionals, one of the only players to ever do it, and showing now exactly why. Still got it at the ripe old age of, I'm not going to say it on stream.
Nice, this is 30-something. 30-something. But when he won those regionals, did it without losing a single round. That's ridiculous. Who does that? Who turns up to a regional, wins it without losing a single round, goes to the next one, and then does it again? Let's consult these prize cards there for Adrian. Dark Energy Dragcloak, not too bad. It's a second copy of Dragcloak, only plays 2. And then for Alex, 1 revolts, 2 basic copies of Psychic Energy. Could be kind of impactful. And then 1 copy of Arthur, which we did see him use quite a lot. But now, here we go. Swiss round 7, game 2 feature match here in Utrecht. Remember, viewers, if you're just joining us here, both players want to win this best of 3 to get herself a nice safe place in day 2. For Adrian, since he has 1 game down, we'll need to win this game and the next to do that. Alex just needs to win 1 of 2 to do so.
Yeah, Alex just prize checking here. Super important with Gardevoir. It does have a lot of high counts of cards, so you are able to have contingency in case of prizing. But there's a few big cards that are important to check if they're in the prizes. Things like Gardevoir, which there is only 2 copies of. If both of those are prized, you have a very different game plan. And all of your individual attackers, Screamtail, Drifloon, Pheasant Dippity, and Lily Fairy, all important cards to recognise. There's only 1 of them in the deck.
It's definitely something you have to keep an eye on, as Alex is able to have 1 Volt in play, and then it gets a Nestball to get a second Volt in play as well. Monkey Dory, this is very similar to game 1 there for Alex. If you have a Dark Energy to boot as well, that'd be a fantastic start. Doesn't have Dark Energy. Don't mind this though, attach. When you retreat, it's going to be 1 more in the discard pile already. It is over to Adrian. Now, Adrian, my friend, good sir, if you want to get into day 2, you're going to have to win this game. How are you going to do that? Start us off with a Buddy Puffin. Love that.
Yeah, no TM Evolution was found last game in the first turn. Did come in later on, but you really want to be seeing that in the first turn. Having 2 of them in the deck to try and maximise the opportunity, and having those 4 Arven too. So,
although it looks like, sorry to cut you off there, Mike, there is no Arven in that hand, and there is no TM Evolution. We did see a Cypher Maniac's code breaking, and you got any 2 cards you like to put on top of your deck. However, that means we are not going to see the TM Evo once again.
Well, we'll be able to evolve next turn, but yeah, as you mentioned, no TM Evo. That means the Dragapult is less viable, because you want to see those Dracloaks early on. You want to see those attachments of Fire and Psychic, just to have it as a banked option. We never saw Dragapult being a possibility in the first game for Adrian, because there was never that first energy attachment, the spare energy attachment put into play.
And that's where Alex made full use of his, as you would say, the free energy attachments. He got those 2 Dark Energy on those Monkey Dory ridiculously early. So it is over to Adrian. Looks like the top card, I believe, or the bottom card, as it looks like to us now, was the Gholdengo, and then the card after that was going to be the Arven. But remember, if you were to draw into the Gholdengo, you can use coin bonus to instantly access that second card as well.
A little bit of a pause as the setup has been finished. That Cypher Maniac's code breaking, setting up for next turn. Iono proof as well.
Yes.
As those cards would go into the hand post Iono, which we've just seen go into Alex Dale's hand. But what's he going to do here? Is he going to get aggressive or look to try and establish that Badu, as we saw last game, to give an extra turn, a bit of extra time to set up the full board? I
would imagine the Badu might not be as attractive now. If you saw your opponent with the Cypher Maniac putting 2 cards at the top, you know what everyone's going to get. However, in saying that, sometimes even if your opponent has the 2 cards you want, being able to item lock a deck that plays quite a lot of items is always going to be good.
Energy Search Pro, a key pillar of any Gholdengo deck to get that first knockout on board, would be out of grasp, and also just that general bull search. Having the Ultra Balls and having the Nest Balls to get things in play is so key for Gholdengo, and that would be unavailable if an item lock happens here, and that's looking to be the case, Badu, with a Bravery Charm on, forcing another energy out of that Gholdengo attack, and the Iono will come through. Adrian now drawing into those 2 cards he's put there, as well as another 4.
That's a good thing about Cypher Maniac versus Iono. Since Iono doesn't shuffle draw, you will be able to access those 2 cards plus 4 more from the Cypher, so we know we're going to have an Arven and a Gholdengo. And then, was that another Arven? And a basic, fighting energy. That's not the most useful one in the world, is it?
Well, we'll see a few more cards with the Gholdengo.
This is true.
You see the Ultra Ball plus 2 Psychic Energy for Alex, could get Curlier going.
I think you have to. That seems pretty sensible to me. Has another Ultra Ball as well, so that can grab you the Gardevoir on the following turn. There we go, we're going to see the Colia. I find it interesting how, even though we lost Refinement Colia for Silver Tempest, Colia's still a massive part of the deck, although it's worth knowing that this Colia is just going to be here, just to evolve, not going to be doing any fancy joint shenanigans, is it?
No, I mean, it's that Badu that's forced every rare candy deck to include their stage 1s to try and find a way through it. Otherwise, you would just get Badu locked out of the game. Does have a few attacks to Colia, but very rarely seen, as you'd much rather turn it into that Gardevoir is a 10 damage on that Dreepy, but the most important part of that Itchy Pollen is the item lock. Adrian now having to navigate his turn without the ability to use items.
So it looks like there we do see the Arven. There we saw him put to the top via code, Cypher Maniac's code breaking. So that means I imagine we're going to see TM Evolution being used. I think he did eye up 2 Gholdengo to the top of the deck. We're going to see Poke Gear 3.0 and then Technical Machine Evolution. Remember, you can attach that tool card still on the item lock due to the recent rule change. Fighting Energy, going to get attached. TM Evolution, going to get attached as well. And there we do see the TM Evolution might get any 2 Pokemon that evolve from your bench Pokemon and just evolve them. So we are going to see the Gholdengo and we are going to see the Dragcloak. But the Budu has done what he needed to do, has slowed Adrian down a little bit. Is over to Alex now. What can he manufacture?
Yeah, and that energy attachment on Adrian's turn is kind of a redundant one, as it was a Fighting Energy. Will allow for a retreat, but it won't be powering up towards any kind of Dragapult anytime soon. So still going to be behind on the attachments. That was the key in the first game, is every time an attack was done, it was done for a single attachment and was instantly knocked out straight after. So there was no way to build up energy on board. But draw is very much on board for Adrian.
We do see Ultra Ball for Curlier. Okay, I was wondering if we would see Ultra Ball for the Gardevoir. Yeah, to get that in play. Alex saying, okay, spread out my stage ones. Get too ahead of myself. What was that last card in the hand again, Mike? It wasn't a draw card, was it? Oh, there we go. Speaking of which, the baby Pokemon all coming out there for Alex. Here's a father going to use his baby Pokemon there. Grasping Draw, 7 cards. However, that does mean Adrian can use those items this turn.
It does, but the amount of cards you're going to see with Grasping Draw, 7 fresh in the hand, there'll be supporters for next turn. And I think Alex is accepting a 1-prize board set here is fine because you can go 2-2-2 with the Gholdengos on board. And that energy we mentioned, the fighting energy has been used to retreat, and now it is going to be draw galore with coin bonus kicking things off.
Draw galore, absolutely love that. We are going to see the metal energy attachment. Coin bonus going to draw too as well. Just give me a cheeky smile there. As I said, I like the draw galore. We are going to see a Gimme Ghoul going to get benched as well. Recon Directive. What is that intelligence going to find? Going to send that straight to the bottom of the deck. Fire energy hits the hand. We need to discard 1 energy by Make It Rain to knock out active Cleffa. I'm sure you'd rather knock out something more impactful, but if that's all you can knock out, that's all you can knock out.
And that's why these baby Pokemon with powerful attacks are so good, because you're happy having them in the active, as they have a free retreat. You're happy if they get knocked out because they're not viable to your late game strategy. They're just sort of there. But on this occasion, Adrian has said, I'm going to go around it and clog up your bench with your Budu and your Cleffa and take out that Curlier for 2 energy on the knockout. Gholdengo swinging.
Yeah, making it rain here in our Swiss. Round 7 feature match. Game 2. Adrian needs to win this game to stay in and have a chance at day 2. Here's the first one to take a knockout here on the board. It's over to Alex. Going to promote the Monkey Dory. Has got the energy attached. Can always retreat that in the discard pile. Oh, this hand's a little bit interesting actually. Professor's Research double Night Stretcher. I like it. Is there any good target for this Night Stretcher?
Well, all the energy has been conveniently discarded. Now it's just going to be those dark energy to attain. The active Monkey Dory can retreat using the Psychic Energy, so dark energy would remain on. But really finding that Gardevoir. There is a research in hand, so lots of dig, but you want to guarantee a Gardevoir and a strong attacker into this Gholdengo. And if it's a Drifloon, there's lots of shenanigans that Adrian's going to be able to deal with the Drifloon that's gone past its own HP using a Bravery Charm. Things like Jamming Tower or that Vengeful Punch to be able to return the knockout. So has to be careful here, Alex, to rely on a Drifloon in this moment.
Do you see Night Stretcher for Volt? That's going to hit the board as well. Double dark energy worth there, and that's going to be 2 copies in the discard pile. Well, 1 if you attach them, I should say, which I imagine we will see to active. That means Mind Bend is currently live. If this Professor's Research goes horribly wrong, we have a backup Mind Bend, 60 damage, and will confuse your opponent's active. Not the greatest attack in the world, but can come up, confusion.
Or debating to get anything back here. Maybe the Drifloon coming down. As I mentioned, there is some shenanigans. That Jamming Tower, a great way to knock out a Drifloon after it's attacked. When its HP is increased by Bravery Charm, and you put enough damage on it that it goes above the 70 HP mark. And there we go, it's going to come down. Pheasant Dipsy was another option to put down, but recognising that the 2-prize liabilities are not worth it at this stage of the game.
We do that Professor's Research when that Balloon Blast does 30 damage for each damage counter on the Drifloon, so each energy attached by Psychic Embrace is an effective 60 damage. What have you seen there, Mike?
Is there an out to a Gardevoir? I don't think so.
Uh-oh. Maybe it is going to have to be that Mind Bend, like I mentioned. Uh-oh. Gardevoir yet nowhere to be seen. There will be no Psychic Embrace at this part of the game for Alex. And this is where you're going to have to start going to Backup City because this is not good.
Backup City is your final stop, Alex.
Yeah.
You've drawn all you can.
Yeah, he's in a bit of a... He's been sent to Brookington Station, as it were. We're going to try and get out of there. Oh dear. Cards flying everywhere. No Gardevoir turning up. Earth Investment got the Dark Energy though.
You wonder if that previous turn with the Grasping Draw, whether evolving the Curlier into the Gardevoir would have still been safe, as it's a lot of HP to take out.
Yeah.
But on this occasion, the Curlier waits to be evolved next turn, and it will be a Mind Bend, trying to create a bit more time. The backup plan that we see so many of these Monkey Dory decks using, 60 damage, and the active Pokemon is now confused.
In case you don't know, viewers, what the confusion rules are, if you try to attack with a confused Pokemon, you have to flip a coin. If heads, the attack goes through. Happy days, you're still confused though. If tails, you actually end up hitting yourself for 30 damage, and the attack does not go through. Now you can retreat out of it, but it adds another interesting wrinkle, right? Do you want to take the risk? Because 50% of the time the attack goes through. 50% of the time, though, Mike, it doesn't, and you hit yourself for 30. So it's over to Adrian, going to evolve into a Recon Directive Dracloak. And it looks like, what are we just debating on what to play here? Have we used coin bonus so far?
There's a Professor Turo scenario in that hand, I believe.
Oh, true.
So lots of draw, ways to reset, and if you get the knockout here as Adrian, you're then putting yourself closer and closer to the victory, setting up a stable board. We mentioned about this deck, its greatest strength is every card, stage 1, can draw a lot of cards. So even if you find yourself in a position where you get disrupted, you're going to see a lot of cards no matter what.
We do see the Recon Directive after multiple coin bonus. There we do see the Team Evolution gets sent straight to the bottom. Superior Energy Retrieval. Love to see that in the Make It Rain decks. Was that Professor Troy? I think it might have been. He's flicking through so fast, Adrian. He's getting excited. Obviously, you can tell. Yes, there is. So that would get around your confusion, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and there's a way to get the energy back with those Superior Energy Retrievals, but might look to go a different route. You know, could use a switch card as well.
I think just play switch.
Well, there's a Team Evo filling that out as well. That's the key to these drawing decks. Finding a way to reset, finding a way to discard cards so that when you do get reset with an INO, you can draw all the useful cards. Yes. You don't want to be seeing Team Evolution at the end of the game.
Yeah. So that's the sort of things that, over the course of, these multi-round events, filling your deck, increasing your percentage chance, that can turn, ties into wins or losses into ties. I mean, every match point you can, that's going to be really strong now. Has played the Arven, so I'm intrigued to see how this turn's going to play out. He wants a Superior Energy Retrieval. That's only about 4 base games in this card is great. But if we turn attack to retreat, that means we can't attack, right?
You just go for the head flip.
I think that the way Adrian's going, I think that might be what he's doing, a bit of a risk taker. I like it. Had a few ways to not put the attack down to that nest ball. Mike, are we going to see the Make It Rain confusion flip?
I guess you could move some damage off, took that Dark Energy out with the Earthen Vessel, so now we can get the Monkey Dory set up. And
yes,
that would allow you to start knocking out things like the Cleffa, which we put into play.
He has got a Bravery Charm, so Brave Budu, not Brave Cleffa.
Also has that Jamming Tower, so it could set up on the Budu in the future.
Yeah, great point, actually. Okay, when you're 1 game back, maybe these are the sort of things you have to do. Here we go. We're going to see the Make It. We're going to see the Adrenaline Rain move. Have to move that damage first, I believe. There we go. Yeah, I was about to say where that damage come from, but yeah, here we go. Now you will have to discard the energy still. Here we go.
If the coin flip is heads, we'll continue the attack and discard the energy. So, time to Make It Rain is now the time.
Has Alex got himself the umbrella to shield himself from the rain? Has the Monkey Dory, I should say. Here we are. Coin flip. Heads. The attack will go through. We'll have to discard the energy now then. 150. Big KO for Adrian. Risky. 2-prize turn. Love to see it. Adrian on the board here in our Swiss round 7 feature match game 2. Love to see it from Adrian.
Love the risk management there. Recognising that even if he flipped tails, it was still a good turn because the Monkey Dory moving damage over to the Cleffa. Got the knockout that he was looking for, but got an extra one as a little bonus. And now he has 3 prize cards remaining. Alex has to claw this back from afar.
Bit of a coin bonus, you could say. Come on. I'm not here. I'm here a weekend chat. I can't feel it. Goodness gracious. We are going to see the Artisan. Going to grab the Monkey Dory. Mike's got a little bit on his face there. You see Monkey Dory going to hit the field. Now, what have we got? What have we got in our hands here? What have we got? Earthen Vessel.
Well, I'll tell you what we got in our hands here.
What's that?
You may have just said goodness gracious on stream, which was your hot take that you weren't going to say all weekend. But it's popped out in the hype moment here for Adrian, where he's just pulled off a wonder turn, attacking through the confusion.
Yep.
And I think it was warranting goodness gracious.
I think of all places to warrant a goodness gracious me. A double prize, the old-fashioned way, the hard way, looking at 2 1 prize Pokemon, 1 via an ability and 1 via confusion, a coin flip. I'll take that. I'll take that. Adrian, you've earned that, my son.
Now we are seeing Alex establishing a board.
There's no Gardevoir yet still, Mike. Is there one in the discard pile?
Maybe, but has to establish a board here to go ahead in this game. It's just really not going his way. Has to find the Pheasantipity to continue that draw.
This is going to be a big flip the script here, Mike. We need to see a Gardevoir EX. There is no way to search from that hand. Here we go, flip the script. Drawing 3. 1, 2, 3. Ultra Ball. Okay, we're back in the race, Mike.
A few Ultra Balls there, and it was seeming like an inevitability.
Yeah.
Having drawn through that deck, Iono'd the rest of his hand to the bottom and now found a way to get the Gardevoir EX with the Ultra Ball. And now he's going to try and find a way to not only take knockouts, but take knockouts without allowing Adrian to return them. And so swinging into that active that's confused, disrupting is going to be the key here. But it's so difficult when they have 2 Recon Directives and 3 coin bonuses available.
Yeah, basically saying Iono probably is not going to stick, unfortunately. Come seeing like, it's not as good as Enzo, what we've seen like 6-8 cards a turn, but I tell you what, you're getting kind of close to it. As we are going to see that Gardevoir EX finally going to be hitting the board, going to evolve into that active. And that means Psychic Embrace could actually evolve into the bench if you really want via Rare Candy, if you so choose. Doesn't play around TMT Evolution that way though. It's going to sort the discard pile. What is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, we have 5 basic Psychic in the discard pile already. Oh, we are going to see Rare Candy, okay. I guess it makes making the second one a bit easier if you draw into it, perhaps some forest card or anything like this.
Yeah, just looking on the other side, Adrian will be able to see 12 cards next turn, just based off that Iono and all the draw. So a knockout from Alex will allow him to reduce the draw, but would also mean the active wouldn't be confused anymore. And that's the debate here. Do you leave the active confused, so you force a coin flip if they are attacking with the Gholdengo that is currently there? And where do you put this damage from the Monkey Dory? There's so many questions. A long journey ahead of Alex to try and take a knockout, and it looks like that Drifloon is going to be the target attacker, which would mean the Gholdengo is a knockout here. If it's enough energy on it, Drifloon doing 30 damage for each damage counter on it, so the Bravery Charm opening up the ability to hit higher numbers. And so each of those energies is kind of like 60 damage once you include the 2 damage counters from Psychic Embrace. So 4 times 60, that's going to be 240, which will knock out that Gholdengo.
I love the way you said there that Alex has to start his journey back into this game. He's going to see if he can do that journey together with that Drifloon. Let's see. That's each energy counts for effective 60 damage, so more than enough to KO this active. Big balloon blast for the KO. There we go. Alex on the board here in our Swiss Round 7 feature match game 2. Wow, big KO there. Worth knowing. Look at that timer. It's gone a little bit low, 2 minutes. We'll get confirmation if the stream timer is 100% correct for the table judges.
Oh, Cypher Mania's code breaking off the top.
Was it off the top? Adrian!
Gonna get that energy first, thinning out the deck, and we'll be able to put any 2 cards on the top. We mentioned before, jamming Tower Shenanigans is a way to take out that Drifloon. And so if this knockout comes through, maybe even the Monkey Dory would be an amazing opportunity, but there's not enough damage in play. This is really changing up the course of this match.
Wow, Cypher Mania's code breaker. And you put any 2 cards out to the top of your deck, but what that basically reads when you have coin burst or Recon Directive, get any 2 cards you like, put them in your hand. Doesn't matter, just have them. How's about that? It looks like, as you do say, the jamming tower was put to the top now. Why is that so impactful? I'll tell you viewers, because with that Bravery Charm, the Drifloon now has what, 90, 80 damage on it, correct? Yep. Jamming tower turns off the tool card, and what that means then is Drifloon only has 70 hit points normally. And what happens in the Pokemon TCG, Mike, if you have more damage on you than hit points you have?
I don't know, Shay, tell me.
You get KO'd and your opponent takes prize cards. You can't be having that mid-turn KOs. Love to see it. There we go, coin bonus straight into the hands. There we go. Boss's orders was that? And jamming tower?
Yeah, can't use that boss's orders this turn.
Otherwise we could look at a quick game too, I can tell you that.
You're going to be drawing all those cards. This is exactly what we mentioned. You can't disrupt a Gholdengo Dragapult. There's too much going in favour of the draw. The coin bonus, taking those initial 2 cards on the side, code breaking. The rest here is almost just stabilisation. And you can even see the filtering out of the bad cards, priming the next draw for the Iono disruption. But we'll be taking a knockout with that jamming tower. And then which of Alex Dow's promoted Pokemon is driving themselves forward in the firing line of a Make It Rain?
Do you know what I love in the TCG, Mike? Mid-turn knockouts, and that's another one. What's going to get... wait, hold on a second. Is there enough shenanigans to where Adrian can knock out this Gardevoir?
I mean, it's possible.
He's only got 2 prize cards left now, thanks to that Drifloon KO. Superior energy retrieval in hand. He's speeding up the play. I think we can see a big Make It Rain. Look how much energy's in the hand off the back of that energy surge pro at the start. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be 200 damage already. We'll have to attach that metal, Mike, but I think we might be there. There's a turn attach. How many are in the hand? Are we going to see the big Make It Rain? Oh, I think we're there.
I think we might be, but discarded a Psychic Energy. So, he's going to move that 10 damage across, and then that will be 300 damage onto the active, and that's going to be a knockout for Adrian.
There we go. Big Make It Rain, Mike. Adrian going to make it rain all the way to a Game 2 victory. The clutch Monkey Dory for the exact amount of damage needed. 10 from the Monkey Dory, 300 from the Make It Rain, and Adrian wins our Game 2 here. I Swiss round 7. Wow.
You can really see how impactful it was to get ahead for Adrian, and how tough it was for Alex when he couldn't establish the Gardevoir early like he did in the previous game. Having to use things like that Cleffer, which are a liability on board. Having to use attacks like that Drifloon, which then was able to be knocked out by the jamming tower. So everything on Adrian's side was punishing the situation Alex found himself in as the game went on, and that early Gus K on the Curlier making it even harder for Alex to keep going.
Really was. The Gardevoir were playing, hideaway, but here was the big turn. The Monkey Dory mid-turn knockout on the Cleffer, and then we saw the confusion Make It Rain attack. That was a 2 prize turn, the old-fashioned way, the hard way, and that was all she wrote. We did see the big combat. Oh, here's the big turn, Mike. Jamming tower for another mid-turn knockout, and then we see the big Make It Rain for the massive amount of damage, and that's how Adrian was able to win the Swiss round 2. Well, no, round 7, game 2, I should say. Yeah,
and that will be a tie for those two. Both now on 502, so they do have a spot in the next phase, but then it will be a lot for them to climb up through the ranks as every win matters in this tournament here in Utrecht. Round 7, rounding up around the rest of the hall, but we just got to witness a great match between our fellow caster Alex and Adrian there, showing exactly why Gholdengo combined with Dragapult is such a deck in the format.
Really is. Love to see it. Look, I'm glad we got to see the game 2 pan out there for Adrian, because game 1 didn't really go his way, but in game 2 we saw exactly, as you say, why the deck is so good, because you're combining that big Make It Rain active damage with the Recon Directive. You didn't even need to see Dragapult in that game. Recon Directive plus Cypher Mania plus Code Breaking, Cypher Mania's Code Breaking I should say, plus the coin bonus. It just means at no point the Ionos are going to stick, and then when you can draw those cards and Make It Rain slams to active, really good to see. Yeah,
just so much draw. I think that's the key in the format now, sniping and draw. If you can do both of those, you're in a pretty good position to deal with the 2 most disruptive attacking options, or disruptive options, knocking out bench Pokemon and disrupting the hand. If you can see those turns, the Iono, the unfair stamps, plus knocking out an important part of the bench, it can really change the game. We saw saw Screen Tail in that first game.
Yep.
You know, Gardevoir has that option. I think pretty much every one of the top decks right now has the ability to take knockouts on the bench. And with Disruption and that draw is the way around it. Big Gholdengos with 260 HP, safe draw. It very rarely gets knocked out from those snipes, so it sticks around and it draws itself out.
Yeah, as we saw in game 1, Alex does have the way to maneuver around this 260 hit point Gholdengo. You need to have a fantastic setup. Double Monkey Dory plus the Gardevoir EX. You haven't got much wiggle room. And as we saw there in game 2, wasn't able to get that monumental mammoth setup, and Adrian was able to start going off to the races. But I really loved that confusion turn. That was, I love it. Yeah, that's what you have to do in one game back though, right?
Well, we started at the beginning of the day where we had some hot takes. Your hot take, unfortunately, has been failed in that game.
Yeah,
Goodness gracious me was your phrase you had to try and cut out for this event. Unfortunately, it slipped out during a hype moment there. Another thing was Ben saying that he wanted to see if any poker parents would be able to do well at this event. And Alex Dow was in that match representing the parents out there, but I know Ben wants to find a few more tips on how to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Casters, yes, I'm here in the TCG play area with the juniors and seniors. The vibes are electric right here right now, but I'm just here with a fellow poker parent, just asking for some tips, because I'm going to be bringing my daughter pretty soon. But tell us where you're from.
So we're from